The price of Bitcoin is $30,304. If we look at the current price and how it's been trading today, it's been a very, very slow uptrend. And this in large part is due to the way the stock market has been performing. No matter what Bitcoin has in terms of a bullish opportunity here, which is the value of the US dollar declining, well, the value of the stock market has been in decline as well today. It's been a pretty rough day for the stock market, a pretty rough day for the US dollar. And yet Bitcoin is showing some strength right now. It looks a lot stronger than both of those two. Why is this? Well, there's a lot going on in the world of the crypto news today. For example, JP Morgan saying that a spot Bitcoin ETF won't have a massive impact on crypto markets. Why are JP Morgan saying that? Well, do you know why the last however many Bitcoin ETFs have all been rejected? The reason why they've all been rejected is quite simply because of the possibility that there might be some market manipulation. In terms of like Bitcoin's price would be heavily manipulated to the upside if an ETF were to be approved. So JP Morgan is putting out this rumor out there right now saying that, look, a Bitcoin ETF, it's not going to have any impact on the markets. Just ignore it, guys. Just ignore it. You know, if somebody wants to accumulate $5 billion worth of Bitcoin to open up a Bitcoin trading fund, that's not going to have any market impact. Yeah, sure. I'll believe it when I see it. I know an ETF will impact the market and it's going to be pretty gosh darn significant. So in today's video, we're going to discuss what's going on with the price of Bitcoin. We're going to discuss what's going on currently with the price of Ethereum. We're going to look at what potential trades there could be to have on the markets right now, especially over the course of this weekend. Is this weekend going to be volatile? Where is that CME gap going to open and what can we expect from the markets? If you're looking forward to that, drop a like on today's video. I'd sincerely appreciate it. Make sure you are, of course, subscribed to the channel as well. Let's get one like and one comment, and I'll say every video, just one. Somebody drop a like. I'd appreciate it. And let's crack on, shall we? So first things first, looking at the current price of Bitcoin, $30,266, struggling with this level of resistance, right? I mean, we've got a couple different levels of resistance, the key one being around here, to be honest. That's where the current level of resistance is currently sitting. Look, if Bitcoin can close the daily candle above $30,322, it's looking so much stronger than the stock market, which is the Dow Jones index, and even the S&P 500 today has been dropping pretty significantly over the course of the past couple hours. It had a huge relief rally and then dropped immediately back to the downside. Bitcoin is kind of following this trend as well, just nowhere near as extreme when you look at the price of Bitcoin. Yeah, it pumped up, but if you imagine that this pump never happened, Bitcoin's price really hasn't changed significantly in the past couple of days or so. It's just kind of been meandering around in this range, and that's really nothing to be concerned about. I'll be more concerned, look, if I was in the stock market right now going, hang on a second, is this the end of the uptrend? And to that I would also argue, no, it's not the end of the uptrend. When you're seeing the dollar as weak as this and it continually loses more and more value, if we're looking at the 1 hour chart on the dollar right now, this has been a pretty significant drop to the downside, and I've been talking about it for a while. Look, the dollar dropped significantly to the downside. Just wait for it to load. There you go. You can see here, stock downwards, bear flag outwards, break to the downside. And look, if the dollar is going to start losing this purple level right here, we're going to see the price of Bitcoin going absolutely scatty. The bull trend for Bitcoin remains very much intact, regardless of how the chart is looking right now. If that US dollar chart is going to keep diving to the downside and the value of the US dollar is going to keep falling, it doesn't really matter what happens over the course of the next couple of months. We will see a significant price increase in the value of Bitcoin, and I'm looking forward to that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for that time to come. And this all comes at a time when you're starting to see slightly more FUD creeping into the markets right now. One of those pieces of FUD is this right here, with the Binance CEO saying that key staff departures are part of company turnover. As Binance loses its key employees to crypto exchanges, the crypto exchange still faces intense scrutiny from several regulators. Speculation right now is that Binance is going to get shut down here. It's going to get shut down there. Let's be realistic. Binance has got more money than most governments. Binance isn't going to get shut down anywhere. It'll be heavily regulated. It'll have to reduce the amount of features and things that it offers, but it won't get shut down. It's impossible to shut Binance down. They've got too much money. So, yeah, Binance ain't going anywhere. Just in case anybody's, whoa, well, what's happening with all of these higher ups at Binance? Nothing at all. They're just switching jobs because they're getting offered higher amounts of money elsewhere with lower amounts of stress from a company. For example, if you switched from Binance to OKX, you're not under as much regulatory scrutiny, you don't have as much stress in your job, and the odds are you're probably going to get paid more as well. So that's why people are switching between these companies right now. The other thing to point out in today's cryptocurrency news, which I think is particularly important for the price of Bitcoin, is Winklevoss-led Gemini crypto exchange sues DCG, which is Digital Currency Group, and Barry Silbert. I am in the process of making a video about the man, the myth, the legend that is Barry Silbert. Barry Silbert has been in Bitcoin since, well, before me, I think, to be honest. He's been in it a long, long time. He's an early investor in Bitcoin. And Barry Silbert basically stole $1.5 billion from Gemini. Gemini have been asking him to return it for ages, but this is all what happened when Three Arrows collapsed. The Digital Currency Group had a bunch of money in Three Arrows capital. They lost billions of dollars, and now they can't afford to pay it back. Barry Silbert has gone bankrupt over this, or he's put one of his companies bankrupt over this, and they're in this resettlement thing at the moment where they're trying to redistribute the funds to everybody. And basically, Gemini is suing them. How does this impact the markets, and why is this important? Well, you've got about $1.6 billion of liquidity that is currently sat under the what's the word? Under the control of Barry Silbert. And those billions of dollars are actually worth double what they were when Winklevoss started to claim them back off him. So basically, it's about $3 billion is what Barry Silbert currently owes as the value of the cryptocurrency that he holds of the Winklevoss twins, which own Gemini. And it was Gemini staking. I'm going on a bit now, but Gemini staking, when that went bust, because DCG went down, because Three Arrows Capital went down, when people get their money back, what do you think they're going to do? Do you really think they're going to cash it all out? No, they're not. They're going to continue to invest it, because that's what people were doing. They were earning passive income with these funds, and these funds are now worth double what they were when the market crashed. So from that perspective, I think it's unlikely these people will sell when they get their money back, and it'd be nice to see some action on it. But I'm making this video right now about Barry Silbert. Question is, when it comes to the price of Bitcoin, what have we got to look at in terms of support and resistance levels? Well, if Bitcoin can close the day above this $30,320 level, then it looks likely that this weekend we would come up and retest this $30,500 level. If Bitcoin fails at this level of support, and it's a very important level of support that you can't just ignore, you've got to pay some attention to it. Look, if we're failing at this level of support, call it somewhere around $30,200, it's likely at that point in time we come down and retest the lows somewhere around 30k. And it's that 30k level that we really need to be keeping an eye on it, because Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything, the price security of all of these assets relies on Bitcoin remaining above $30,000. We lose that $30,000 level, you can see here there's this huge glut in liquidity all the way back down to these levels here around $27,500. So it'd be a pretty significant drop to the downside if we lost that $30,000 level. So just be warned about $30,000 Bitcoin. It's important that we stay above it. To the upside though, look, if we're going to start trading back into this range here and we break above $30,500, then that means we reopen up the top. And just look how many times Bitcoin has made these huge, like multiple percentage candles in very short periods of time. Don't write it off. A quick change in the market could cause an almighty bounce or a huge drop. Just keep an eye on those support and resistance levels. Key things to be watching right now: Bitcoin dominance. Currently bull flagging here on the 5-minute chart, looking pretty gosh darn healthy, looking like it's going to take another lump out of Ethereum. However, when you start looking at the higher time frames for Bitcoin dominance, if this chart cares to load, come on, give me some chartage here. We'll get there. There we go. You can see that, I mean, it's interesting. There's a couple of different ways that you could chart this. You could chart this as a diamond top pattern like that, which you would expect to break to the downside, thus meaning the price of Ethereum would increase. You could also chart it as a bull flag, something like that, and you would say, look, this is going to break to the upside. Overall, you can't read a whole lot into Bitcoin dominance right now, which is why you should really be reading into what Ethereum is doing against Bitcoin. And Ethereum versus Bitcoin has been back on that bearish trend again. It's been a bit unfortunate that Ethereum versus Bitcoin is back on that bearish trend, but it's certainly back on that bearish trend right now, undoing a lot of gains of the past week. It's been a bit unfortunate, but again, I am still very cautiously optimistic on the price of Ethereum. If we look at it on the daily chart, from my perspective, it looks fairly well bottomed out. Not only that, but we are coming down, and you've got this inverse head and shoulders pattern forming here. Some point in time, it is going to bounce to the upside, and it's going to bounce pretty significantly against the value of Bitcoin. When that happens, you're going to see the entire altcoin market taking off, and when that altcoin market is taking off, that's when you really want to have already been in your position. So from my perspective, altcoins are the way to go right now, and I am particularly optimistic on a bunch of different altcoins. I'll see if I can load up my altcoin challenge portfolio and see what that's saying. Yes, I can. There we go. Right, so my altcoin challenge portfolio is currently worth $37,000. However, TAP has been rising today. TAP has actually been breaking back to the upside. You can see that that level, that resistance level at 18 has now been evaporated. And you can see now we're trading up at 19 and 20 with the price starting to loop back around again. TAP is going bullish. It's starting to bounce. It's looking very, very good. And with a whole week of content planned next week from my side, I'm expecting some very big moves on the price of TAP. I think this is going to be doing pretty well pretty soon, so I'm pretty excited for that. Again, more bullet buying than selling. If you are selling right now, you're selling for a margin of like 10% loss over this right here. So I wouldn't be selling at 17 because that doesn't make any sense, because like the price is 19. So either way, you can see just significant amounts of buying pressure in the books, like falling amounts of resistance. Yeah, there's a fair amount of resistance here on tap around 21, 22, but overall the price of tap is starting to look back around, starting to look more bullish, and yeah, overall starting to look pretty decent out there in the altcoin market. From my perspective, we just need Bitcoin to hold these levels, and even if Bitcoin doesn't hold them levels, we still might see that resurgence in the value of Ethereum. And if we see that resurgence in the value of Ethereum, we're going to see that across the entire board of the altcoin market. And from my perspective, that is pretty exciting right now. The final thing to point out would be when you start seeing headlines like this. Yes, I know it comes from Crypto Saving Expert. Yes, I know I own this company, but Doge hype fizzles despite Twitter securing money transmitter licenses. Now, this is particularly interesting because, of course, Dogecoin's price has been not really doing so much recently. I'd say this is pretty much a buy indicator. When you start seeing articles and headlines like this, and I hope I'm still in focus, but when you start seeing articles and headlines like this, then you should, in theory, buy the dip. That's generally when you see people saying that things are not going so well, that's when you should buy the dip. And of course, if you are interested in learning more about the world of cryptocurrency, you should definitely go to cryptosavingexpert.com. If you go to cryptosavingexpert.com right now and you go over to the courses section, you can learn all sorts of things about cryptocurrency on courses section. You can also learn about it on the guide section here. You want to know about any word in particular. One of the ways that I got really smart at crypto and learned so many things about crypto is I read the encyclopedia on crypto. So now I've made my own encyclopedia on crypto, and you're more than welcome to go and check it out. You can type in any word here, or you can just go through it one by one, learn every single word, watch all of the videos if you can't read, and have a great time. It's all completely free. Check it out, link in today's video description. But on that note, guys, thank you all very much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, do drop a like on it. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Turn on those channel notifications, and yeah, one like, one comment. If you're interested in trading, check out the trading tutorial on the screen right now, and have a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.